This presentation will be about Punnett square expansions using Wolfram Alpha and/or Mathematica. A Punnett square is an idea from biology used to figure out not only the possibilities but the probabilities of the traits of offspring. The idea can be expanded to consider multiple traits and multiple generations.
Go to the Wolfram Cloud page, and if you do not have an account, sign up for one. It's a free account. The free account will let you use Wolfram and make notebooks and download the notebooks, save the notebooks up in the cloud. And if you want to upload notebooks back up to the cloud or have a large number of notebooks or save them sort of for an indefinite amount of period, then you might want to pay for some of these additional options. But the free account allows you to do quite a bit, so it'll do for us. And then once you have an account, sign into it. Alternatively, if you have the Mathematica application on your computer, you can use it. It's pretty much equivalent. After you've logged on to your account, then open a new notebook. Next, enter the code expand with a capital E, square brackets, and then the quantity in parentheses, little a plus capital A, and then another set of parentheses, little b plus capital B, and then close the square bracket. And then to enter that in Mathematica, hit Shift+Enter. The in square bracket 1 : equal, that in was provided by Wolfram after I entered, so that was not something that I typed, nor did I type the output. It's not always clear where to type here, but if you see the little plus with a circle around it, that is where I would enter my next entry into the Wolfram Cloud.
So you see that under the cell that we just created that there is a lineup of tabs, and they give some options that you might want to continue to pursue operating on the cell you just made. But underneath there's a very thin line, and very on the extreme left a little plus sign. And if you want to make a new cell and enter code in a new cell, that's where you will go. So you'll place your cursor there, and either you can hit an enter and it will make some space, or you can just start typing your code. I tend to type a space, I tend to type an enter and then maybe a backspace, but I sort of make some obvious room for the cell before I start typing the code. But you can't just start typing code there. So the result in cell 1 is known as out square bracket 1, and we are going to take that result, square it, and expand it. So we're going to enter in this new cell the code expand with a capital E, square bracket, open parenthesis, out, capital O, square bracket 1, close square bracket, close parenthesis, caret 2 to get it squared, and then close the square bracket of expand. And again, Shift+Enter to get it to be executed, and then you see the expansion there. One thing to watch if you're following directions is that your outnumbers and the person you're following outnumbers can sometimes get sort of different and out of sync, so you sort of have to pay attention and not just sort of blindly put in their numbers, but put in your numbers that corresponds to whatever result of yours corresponds to their result. Again, so don't assume that the numbering's always the same. If you want to keep a result, to copy it and put it in some other document, then you can highlight an output cell, an output subcell, and then it gets a little, when you've highlighted the cell, it gets a little sort of gear icon in it. And then if you click on the gear icon, you can, a menu expands, and you can choose, say, copy as, and one of the options in copy as is plain text. Then a little dialog pops up just for you to copy the plain text, and then you can paste it over into, say, a Word document or what have you. and it will convert, say, the superscripts into carets, for instance. So like A superscript 2 got turned into A caret 2, for instance. Another option in carrying is to copy as an image. So again, highlight the cell, get a little gear icon, click on that, get a menu, choose copy as, this time choose image, and then get the little dialog for copying as the image, copy the image, and say, again, you can say paste that into Word. And that second paste is an image. Here we made a cell, a third cell and a fourth cell, and in the third cell we expanded little a plus capital A, little b plus capital B plus little c plus capital C, and then we got that result and squared it and expanded it. So just sort of the same game we've been playing, except now we're playing with 3 traits instead of 2. You can download your work by going up to the top in the gray area. There is a menu. One of the items says File, and then if you expand File, you can choose Download. That will throw into your downloads some NB notebook file with some very long, complicated name, which then, of course, you can rename. Now, if you happen to have Mathematica, then you can start Mathematica, and when Mathematica starts, you can click on the open icon, and that will bring up a dialog, and then you can find the notebook that you just downloaded from the cloud, from the Wolfram Cloud. It was in my downloads. I renamed it Punnett, and then open it. And you see that it has the cells, but the cells are no longer numbered. So it's not input 1 and output 1. It's labeled as an output, but it has no number. So you would have to sort of re-enter the code to get back to where we were. So as an alternative to downloading the file and continuing to work with it in Mathematica, another approach is to save your notebook to the cloud. For that, you need an account. It's known as their basic plan, which is a free account. It's sort of limited in the amount of storage, but it will sort of do in a pinch.